Hi, this is James, Tea Master James again, CEO of EnlighTea, and right now we're going to share with you some of the benefits of our tea of the month. This month, we sent out our Darjeeling tea, EnlighTea Darjeeling tea, which is the second flush, and the second flush tends to be a little bit more darker and more strong. So if you're into stronger teas, black teas, then our EnlighTea Darjeeling tea second flush is the tea for you. The first flush is usually more lighter in color and also lighter in taste and similar to more of a green tea in our white teas. So that's good as well. Now we have the water boiling, and I'm gonna go ahead and pour the hot water. And sorry, I covered my face there, but I am pouring it into our teapot, and we're using boiling water, 212 degrees for this black tea. Now, sometimes with the first flush, you do have a first flush. Boiling water is not necessarily required. You can use 185 degree temperature or 190 degree temperature to be able to steep the tea or to boil the water. And this is actually the second steeping. So normally 3 minutes would be the first steeping, but we're gonna actually set the timer or keep track of the clock for 5 minutes. We're gonna do 5 minutes. We're gonna add 2 extra minutes so that we can get kind of a similar taste to the first cup, the first steeping. Okay, so if you do re-steep your tea, which is totally ideal, perfect, because especially with single estate teas like our Darjeeling tea and some of our blended teas, they can be re-steeped up to 3 times because it's high quality tea and you don't want to waste it. And a little secret so that we share in our Tea of the Month Club is that the second steeping is oftentimes the best steeping, so you're going to be able to enjoy it a lot more, because the first steeping, a lot of times it just awakens the tea. It barely awakens the tea. A lot of our teas are single estate teas, and our oolongs and our black teas, they're really, when they're prepared and produced, they're really rolled up very tightly so that all of the essence of the tea is captured in the tea and it stays there for the longest possible time. That's how it keeps it fresh. So when we put the hot water in for the first steeping, the tea, it just awakens. It barely wakens up, and so you might not get the most best tea out of that with the first cup. So sometimes the second, and a lot of times the second steeping is the better, steeping. So don't throw away your loose leaf teas after the first steeping if it's quality premium loose leaf tea. Now, other teas, I don't know. Bag teas, forget it. One serving for the bag teas is all you're gonna get, and we're not gonna go into bag teas right now, but that's the bologna of tea. Don't drink bag tea. Anyways, so we're steeping our teas for 5 minutes, the second steeping for 5 minutes. So definitely, if you do the second steeping, add 1 to 2 minutes to the time. I like to add 2 minutes because I like, a little bit stronger. I like to bring it back to the original taste, to get as close as possible to, the original taste, and have it more of the properties and the benefits coming out of it, out of the second steeping. And so that's what we're doing right now. And with Darjeeling tea, also called the champagne of tea. Why is it called the champagne of tea? It's because it's so special and it's so rare that only 1% of the teas in India are Darjeeling tea. And Darjeeling tea is in a specific region of India. It's at the foothills of the Himalayas, very high altitude. So this tea requires high altitude, and it requires a very sunny, alternates between sunny and cloudy climate weather in order to produce this tea. Also, it requires slightly acidic soil to make this tea perfect and to bring you Darjeeling tea. And it's very unique. So it's very, and that's why this is very rare tea, a very special tea. And of course, it also has the taste of a fruity and muskiness, similar to that of champagne. So the fruity muskiness, adds to why they call it the champagne tea. And this tea is so special and so adored in many circles, especially in the East, that the Prime Minister Modi of India even gifted this tea to the Queen of England. So that should tell you how wonderful and special this tea is. Okay, so while we wait for this tea, and I apologize, I should have had this tea prepared in advance. We actually might just do 4 minutes for this tea to be able to brew, because I don't want this video to end up being too long. In fact, I think I'm gonna have to stop this video because it's gonna be hard for me to send this to you. So we're gonna have to continue with this video, and I might have to edit it so you'll get like a shorter abbreviated version of this. But we are gonna do the full 5 minutes of steeping, but you're not gonna have to wait for it. But anyways, the Darjeeling tea, if you received it, if you're part of the tea of the month, you should have gotten it, and it looks like this, right? So make sure you have the right tea. This is what it should look like. Okay, for our Darjeeling second flush black tea. So very tightly rolled up, and be sure you take a nice sniff, smell the aroma of the dry leaves. Although because it's very tightly rolled up, you're not going to smell a lot of the aroma until you actually put the water in, and from there the wet leaves, then the aroma comes out. So, but you can still smell, enjoy, and actually it's good to be able to smell so that you start to begin to distinguish and discern the difference between this tea versus other black teas and other teas that you have, or that later on you run into, so that the difference, so that you'll know what Darjeeling smells like and it's supposed to smell like versus other teas. Okay, and we have a couple more minutes, but here is the Darjeeling tea. I'm smelling the wet tea while it's steeping, and this is the second steeping. So wow, it's so fresh and so smooth. Somewhat woodsy, the smell, but very a little fruity. Definitely the muskiness is in this tea. I'm so excited. So let me see if you can see it. Can you see it? If not, then when we're done with this tea, I don't want to tip it over because it will be, it is full. And obviously don't want to get it all over the place. So we will be back when the tea is complete to continue this video. Okay? We'll see you in a little bit. Namaste.